Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room today. We're going to be creating 2 cards using the floating frame technique. Sorry, there was a momentary lapse of brain power there. So the 2 cards are made to, the front parts are made together. So this piece fits inside here, and I cut it out with the stitch framelit die. Stitched rectangle die, and so I'll show you how to do that. These pieces here around the outside are all up on dimensionals. Can you see that? Yeah, so here's the recipe for both cards. Now while you're looking at it, I'm just going to check my computer and make sure I'm oriented properly. Just gotta refresh here. Okay, just giving it a second to refresh. Sorry, I'm bopping all over the place with this recipe here. Okay, good. All right, so let's get started. So usually I do 3 videos for 3 separate cards, but we're going to make these 2 cards together. And the best way I've found, this is the To a Wild Rose stamp set, and the best way I've found to do this is with the Stamparatus. So I've set my plates up for that, but I forgot to get my embossing buddy, so I just had to go and get that. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to bring my Stamparatus in. Now, is it in the frame? I think so. Of course, now I'm going to start to cough. Okay, so I have 5 plates. There's 3 that have the flower and 2 that have the leaf. So we'll do the flower first. And I've already done a bunch of this stamping so that it's not quite so painful. Let's get my cord out of the way to start with. Put that one in, and so there's one of the cards. Now where did I do with my pieces? Oh, there they are. Whew. Okay, so I've already done 2 of the flowers. We need 3 flowers. I've done 2 of them. We need 3 leaves. I've done 2 of them, and we need 2 of these for the other card, and I've already done one so that it's not quite so painful for you. So I'll just put those out of the way. Okay, so we'll get the piece that I need. For the flower. And we're using Blushing Bride and Rococo Rose. So the outline stamp is Rococo Rose. Giving it a good inking, and push it down real good. And then you have to slowly raise this up because they're photopolymer, so they kind of stick. So then I'll take that one out and I'll replace it with the next one. This one is also going to be Rococo Rose. So these are for my November 2019 club. Uh-oh. I just have to move that just a tiny weeny teeny bit, because apparently I don't have it lined up properly. I know you're not supposed to do that, but hey, I did it. That's better. So these are my November 2019 club cards for my monthly stamping club. And slowly let it release. There we are. Take that one. And then we have one last stamp for the flower, and it's in Blushing Bride. We're just going to ink that up. Give it a good inking. And stamp it. Now, if you make your paper bigger, you don't have to push quite as hard. I'm having to push so much because the magnet there doesn't allow really good stamping unless you really push it. But there, see, it works. All right. That's the flower done. Now, get my cardstock for the leaf. And we'll switch to Old Olive and Pear Pizzazz. So the first one, I'm just making sure that I've got the paper in there right now, and I don't. It should be this way. Okay. All right. So if you're looking for the host code for the November 2019 monthly club, the code is right here. It's ZFYSBAG2. Okay, giving that a good inking with Old Olive, and this is the outline stamp. Give it a good push down there. I really like my the Stamparatus for this because there's 3 leaves and 3 flowers for each card. So you can, when I was winging off the other 2, it was really easy because they're all in the same spot. Well, except the flower, which I will have to move for class, but that's okay. So I'm inking up the center stamp for the leaf now, and it's in Pear Pizzazz. Oh, isn't that interesting? Huh. I wonder why it's not lined up properly. That is just bizarre. Oh, I remember why. Because when I was washing it, this one came off. So I'm just going to stamp this off on a spare paper and line it back up again. It's really easy to line up. Just kind of have to do that. Get it where you want it. Now we'll ink it up again, and then it'll be in the right spot. Yeah, it'll be in the right spot for you guys when you do your class. With a good inking. There we are. Done. Now we'll put the Stamparatus away and carry on. All right, so now you need one of the pieces of 5 1/4 by 4. Well, first of all, let's get the big shot plates here, the magnetic platform, so I can die cut. I have to die cut these first. So where the dies are right here. Well, I've got a bit of washi tape on them so that I can get them lined up and they don't move. There's that one. And the leaf. Get it lined up too. And I've got washi tape on here as well, just so it doesn't loosen itself. Nope, that's not right. Hang on. Take your time when you're doing this, because the longer you take to line your image up with the dies, the better your die cut is going to be. Okay, it's going there. And I need to cut one more of these leaves. And put the top plate on. And we'll run it through the Big Shot. Well, the die cutting machine. I shouldn't say the Big Shot. I have to start training myself. Because when Stampin' Up! Comes out with their new one, it's not going to be called the Big Shot anymore. It's going to be called die cutting machine or something similar. Okay, so to get this leaf off, I have a brush on the take your pick tool, push out the extra pieces, and then pop it out. There we go. Put that away. There's the leaf. And the flower. Okay, so now comes the fun part. So you take your, oops, let's get these back so you can see what I'm doing. You're going to put one flower in this corner and one flower in this corner. That's there. That's there. And then the third flower goes down here. And then one leaf goes there. One leaf goes here-ish. You just kind of put them where you think they are the prettiest. Move this one over a bit. Put this in, and then that leaf just tucks underneath that flower there like that. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this one a little bit. And turn my flower. Move this one down. There. So now when you get it where you like it, and remember we're going to use the inside as well as the outside, you use some Glad Press and Seal. Now, this you can find at Walmart or any of the grocery stores. And you cut a piece. Now what it is it's sticky. It's like a Post-it note on one side. And you put it down, hold it tight, you put it down over top, like this. So that holds them in place. And then you kind of burnish them onto the press and seal. And then you pull this up. And you leave the white part by itself. Okay, now I'm going to take my shim out for this. I've discovered if you put this underneath and then put your plate and then put this over top so that you get it lined up where you want it. Like that. And now you take the die that we're going to use to cut the center out, put it on, get it lined up a little bit. Now if you're OCD, then I just kind of make sure that it's even, and I'm looking through there to the white. There. And I think it needs to go over this way just a tad. And then I use a little bit of washi tape to hold it in place. All right. Now you can take this out if you want. Or you can leave it in there because it's underneath the plate, so it's not going to hurt anything. And then you just run it through. Oops. What did I just drop? Oh. Hang on. I dropped one of my leaves. Pick it up. I don't want to lose that. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, there it is. We'll get those out of the way so I don't lose them. Okay, now you pull this off. Okay, wait. Let's move it up a bit so you can see what I'm doing. You pull this off. And then this is all cut. Now, I've discovered that it doesn't always cut where it's just the wrap because there isn't anything behind it to make it stiff enough. So for those spots, just take your scissors and cut them because it's not really crucial that you get those straight anyways. See, and there's another place there that didn't get cut all the way through. And this one too. There we are. Now this one kind of did a little funky there, so I'm just going to cut that. All right, so now we have the two pieces for our two different cards. So there's the front for one card, and here's the piece to use on the second card. Isn't that cool? Okay, so let's get this card out of the way for now, and we'll work on this one. Work on it. Okay, so now take your dimensionals, and this is where it's slow slogging because you have to make sure that you get enough dimensionals everywhere to keep those pieces up. And when there's long thin slices like that, you have to make sure you put the dimensionals on there too. And it's really important that you get them around the frame part. This takes a lot of dimensionals. But that's okay. The longer we take to do this, the better the result is. So I'm just putting the full ones in, and then I'm going to go back and cut some pieces to put on the extra spots. I don't remember who originated this. Oops. Who originated this technique. But it's a lot of fun. The only thing is you got to use a lot of whatever it is. I know when I've seen a lot of them done with the magnolia paper, and they're gorgeous. Okay, now where these ones are overlapping, I'm just going to put one on the leaf part. Okay, so now let's get some thin strips here off of the bottom so I can do some of those other spots. And we'll need a piece in there. And we'll need a piece there. And I'm going to need a piece on the other side too, but this one's too long, so I'm just going to cut it in half. There we go. Okay. That should be okay. We can also always slide some in underneath if it's not. Now you take your 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece and take all the tops off the dimensionals. La 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 la. I should be like talking away here, but I don't know what to tell you, except that went to see a movie today. We saw Fighting with Fire with the grandchildren. It was cool. It was a really good show. And now our theater has those lovely recliner chairs. You just kind of settle in and watch the movie, and before you know it, it's over and it's time to go home. Then you got to wake up. I mean, get up. No, I didn't fall asleep. It was a good movie. We were laughing. The kids were laughing. Okay, let's get all the little pieces out of the way. Now, you take this and you kind of put it on here. You want that center thing to be a little bit straight. Oh, this has got to come down. Got to come down a bit there. That's got to go up. Yeah, this is the fiddly part, and I'm sorry, apparently I'm not keeping it in frame for you guys. Come on, up, because I don't like where you are. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, had an issue, have to turn it over. Sorry, I'm trying not to get my head in the way here. Let's put that down there. That down there. That there. And don't forget, we're going to cut off this extra stuff, so. Oh, it's not over far enough. Oh well, that's where it's going. Now, then you push down on your dimensionals. Then you have to slowly lift this up. Sometimes it sticks quite a bit when you run it through the die cutting machine, and sometimes it doesn't. Just remember not to put a shim in there. There we are. Ta-da! So there's the frame. Isn't that cool? Now these, I'm going to put just a dot of Tombow in there, just to hold them together. Not too much, just a little tiny bit. It's just easier to get Tombow in there than anything else. I think I got it a little crooked. It should have been turned a little bit, but that's okay. Let's see if we can. No, I'm just going to leave it. It is what it is. Okay, so now you turn it over and you just cut off the excess pieces of flowers and leaves that you can see through the back. Oh, you can see I put my dimensional in the wrong spot there, but that's okay. It cuts off. There we are. Now, I could probably go back in and put another leaf or something in there, but I'm going to put the bow there anyway, so it's not a big deal, but it's a little crooked. Oh my goodness. That is really not good. Oh well. Oh, I don't know. Let's see if we can fix it. I don't know whether this is going to work or not. Let's see if it will. Because that's really quite crooked. It's more crooked than I want it to be. Get my undo. See if we can undo it all and start again. Maybe I don't have to. Uh-oh, where's my pokey tool? I lost my pokey tool. Uh-oh. Well. I think this is going to be a disaster. So I'm not, because I've already cut it. So just be careful when you do yours that you don't get it crooked like mine. Okay. We're pretending that this is straight. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Now I'm just going to ink up the stamp for the center. And if yours is crooked and you send it to a true friend, they're not going to care, right? Put the lid back on my undo. Okay, I'm going to put it straight to the frame. I wonder if I can put it in my trimmer and trim it. Oh my goodness. This is either going to be a good thing or a complete disaster. Let's see if I can do this. Get the scoring blade out of the way. I don't know whether this is going to work or not, but we'll pretend it is. Well, it's a little bit better than it was. Oh. Sure, that'll do. It'll just be smaller. All right, now I'm looking for my card base. There it is. Now this just goes on here like this. Get some adhesive. Yeah, I didn't get out my tear and tape either. Oh well. There we are. Well, that didn't turn out too bad with that little added little bit of trimming we did. All right, now we'll put the bow on with a glue dot. And it's just going to go right there in the corner like that. And we need rhinestones. I'm going to have to find my pokey tool, also known as my paper piercer. 1, 2, 3. There we are. All right, so there's the front done. Now we're going to do the inside and the envelope. There's the inside, there's the envelope. We'll get the Rococo rose back out. And the envelope. And I think I'll grab the Rococo rose marker and go around the outside because I can. So I'll just throw that in the basket too. So it'll be there for you guys to use. Or maybe I should put a sponge in there because I know you guys like sponges. Sponging is not my favorite thing in the world, but I know it is yours. So let's just throw a sponge in there. So you're probably wondering what the embossing buddy was for. Well, that was to put on the flowers after you take the press and seal off. If it is a bit sticky, just run the embossing buddy over top and it takes all the sticky away. There we are. Card number 1 done. With a little bit of finagling or finessing. We'll move that out of the way and we'll bring card number 2 in. There we are. So this one has some embossing. There's the brick and mortar and high seas. So the brick and mortar is back here and then high seas is in behind that layer. So we'll just put it there. I'll dig out my card kit. I don't want to lose this. We'll just put that up there for now. Okay, let's stamp the inside and the envelope while we're here because they're the same as the other one. Just quickly, this is the stamp from Free as a Bird. There we are. Get that out of the way. Oh, let's leave this open. Sponge. Aha! Just a quick going around. See, I can adapt. I can go outside my comfort zone. Put that in the basket for class. So there's the inside and the envelope done. And now we're going to take the other big piece and it's going to go through the brick and mortar embossing folder like that. Just make sure it's straight. I just have to set the machine up here. Okay, I'm gonna run that through. Going slowly because you have to give the paper time to move. Don't wing it through too fast. Okay, and then this piece is going to go through High Seas, the High Seas embossing folder. I created a peacock card the other day, yesterday I guess it was, using one of the new embossing folders from the brand new Occasions catalog, which is now called the mini catalog. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Okay, card base, and this just goes down on the card base. Oops, get your corners, don't forget your corners. That's where a card will start to fall apart if it's going to fall apart. And then this just layer just goes down on here like that. Now this one and this one need the dimensionals again. That paper, that Glad wrap, or what's it called? Press and seal, is very sticky. They used to advertise this on TV all the time with a chicken breast to put in the freezer, and they used to wrap a chicken breast up. And don't forget, the more you put on, the better your card is going to be from, it won't sag in the middle, and the pieces won't tend to fall off. Probably overkill, but personally I think the more the better when you're doing this technique. Okay, get those out of the way. Bring my high seas piece. So this is just going to go center on there. So let's see if we can get this straight this time. Take off all the backings off all the dimensionals. I guess I could be doing that trick I showed you guys last time too, because this really works. See how fast it is? It just whips them off when you get it properly. All right, so here we have this, and you can do it whatever way up you want. Just kind of try to keep it in the center. Push them down, and then have to start the press and seal, and go slowly when you peel it. This is really letting go nicely tonight. Last time I did it was a pain. Just getting rid of all my dimensional bits and the garbage. Come on, let go of my hands. Thank you. Now this is going to go flat with just some tape. Now this high seas embossing folder, there's no right side or wrong side. They're both whatever looks good to you. All right, now we're going to stick this up here in this corner because we have to leave enough room for the sentiment. There we are. This one's going together good. I don't have to trim it. Okay, I'm going to put this aside for the moment while I do the sentiment. Oh, this is Thinking of You. And then I'm going to show you a little trick. Now this stamp is from Woven Heirlooms. Now the die that we're going to cut it out with is this one. Now you probably see that it doesn't do the whole length. Ha ha! I have a trick for you. Now we've kind of done this before. We've done it where we cut it smaller, but this time we're going to cut it bigger. So you put it on one side and get it lined up where you want it. I'm just going to make it straight. Now, when you put the top plate on, just put it on part way. You don't want to cover up that end because we don't want to cut that. And by not covering it up, it won't cut it. Okay, off to the machine. All right. So there it is. So it's cut half of it. Now we're going to put the other end on and line it up in the holes there so you can feel it. Once you get it on there and get it down into the cutting holes, then you can feel it. Now you're going to put it on like this and run it through. So you just want to put it on that part that you haven't cut yet. Oops, my mat fell. There you go. Perfect. How's that? Nice trick, huh? Okay, dimension. So now you know how to make it bigger and you know how to make it smaller. So you can do whatever size you want with those rectangle dies. If you can only buy one set of dies, that's the one to buy. The stitched, let me get them out for you. The stitched rectangle framelits, because you can do rectangles, you can do squares, you can do long thin things. Yeah, you can do a lot with those. And you can cut flag ends too. We've done that before. Okay, so I'm going to bring my leaves in here. And I'm going to take not the center ones, I'm just taking it off of the end ones for now, because I'm going to go over top of the leaves like that. Now I'll take the center ones off and bring my card back in, and this is going to go right. Let's make sure it doesn't hang off the edge of the card. There we are. Now, adhesive on the back of the inside piece. And that's the end. That's the cards. That's 2 cards done in one video. So I've got one more video to do. And then I've got to create something for our home decor piece. Here we are. And there's the envelope for that one. I'll just bring back these 2 cards. So there's the cards. So there's the outside frames and here's the inside frames. This one's a little bit bent, but that's okay. There we are. So November 2019 current club code ZFYSBAG2. If you want to place your order online before, let's see, we're having this on Wednesday, December the 4th. So make sure you have your order in by then. Oh, I didn't put the rhinestones on. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's do them rhinestones. Oh, apparently I did them in the middle of the flowers. That's cool. I can do that again. And one here. There we are. Rhinestones done. Cards complete. Thanks for joining me. I hope you get a chance to watch the video before club, because it'll be a lot easier when you're trying to make these cards. This technique is not hard, it's just a bit tricky. So thanks for watching and thanks for joining me in my craft room. Bye for now.